Community activist Brent Gericke joins me now live from the Vaal to talk about the water conditions there. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, Brent. Perhaps let's start here. You've been a resident of the barrage for many years. You've witnessed the deterioration of the river. Is this the worst state the river has ever been in?
Well, certainly from an invasive plant point of view, it is definitely the worst we've ever dealt with.
And I'm sure you... all right, go right ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say that the pollution levels have been much the same for the last probably 15 years. There's been very little work done. 38 of the main sewer outlets that disgorge eventually into the barrage are not functional, in bad state. And this is something that we've been trying for years to get the authorities to sort out.
And in those years, I'm certain you've seen many interventions. Which intervention has at least come close to addressing the problem?
No, there's been no real intervention. There's been plenty of talk and nothing actually happened. Finally, Save the Vaal Environment has taken the DWS and Rand Water to court on various occasions and has got court orders against them. And we now have a situation where the Deputy Judge President is in fact overseeing the work that these people are supposed to be doing. That of the 38 outlets, not one is fully compliant. There are some up to about 90%. There are others down to 15% or even less. Particularly the Rietspreit sewage works, it's in total disarray, and totally untreated sewage is entering directly into the river through the Rietspreit.
Now tell me, how has this impacted the community that you live in? I mean, surely there is a phenomenal impact, especially when it comes to the worthiness of the properties along that side of the river.
Yeah, absolutely. The river is no longer, or property on the river is no longer really a saleable item. We sit here with absolutely, I don't know if you have visuals of it, but this water lettuce chokes the entire river. We are talking about 350 odd hectares of it here. And this continues because of the pollution and the nonsense going into the river here. The community's been trying to get action. Water lettuce appeared in 21, but of course in the following two rainy seasons we had sufficient wash and flooding to move the problem downstream. This year, of course, with El Nino and much less rainfall, it's become stagnant and the whole area is covered with this. It impacts all the people that make a living out of recreation on the river, the restaurants, the boats, and all this type of thing. All their revenues have declined radically, and the river is unusable, quite frankly.
Now, Brent, as a resident, what do you think needs to happen? What would you like to see happen?
Well, for the immediate short term, we need to clear this lettuce. We got a general authorization in early February that allowed us to spray to kill this water lettuce. But we no sooner started spraying, then we had an absolute outcry from various environmental organizations and civil servants themselves and other uninformed people regarding the use of glyphosate. And it was halted by the authorities. They are now on the cusp of issuing a new general authorization that will allow us to spray again. The product used is not carcinogenic. This is a fallacy. It comprises 50% of herbicides sold worldwide and has been used since 1975. It's completely safe, and to kill the water lettuce, once we have it in hand, because this stuff multiplies at such an incredible rate, it doubles every 21 days. So once it is dead, then we have a sort of standing target to deal with, and we can look at removing it. Because it doesn't sink to the bottom of the river as everybody alleges. It floats around on the surface for probably 2 months before it actually disappears. So it creates a massive problem for everybody.
Yeah.
And thus far, the community has shouldered the burden entirely with absolutely no help from government. Randwood has offered or have taken 2 million rand that they have available for this apparently. They've put it out to tender. They aim to remove 61 hectares worth of the plant when we've got about 350 here. And at the rate that they propose that it be removed, the natural growth will overtake it in any way. So that's a complete waste of money. And we need big resources put into this. And ultimately, obviously, the end game is to have all these sewage works fixed. They should have been fixed 20 years ago, 15 years ago, whenever, and they haven't, they've just been neglected.
All right. Well, Brent, now the minister is now addressing the municipalities directly. Is this likely to have any impact, or do you think this is just a little bit of electioneering?
I'd like to be positive and say I hope it has the desired effect. But as you know, we have an election in a month and a half's time, and it would look more like electioneering to me than anything else. We've had previous ministers come down here, make all sorts of promises, threaten the local authorities, and then disappear and nothing happens. So we're optimistic in terms of hoping, just being optimistic, hoping something will happen. But if we are realists, we doubt whether the minister will actually get something done.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Let's hope for the best.